Sometimes in races or training, when crashes happen, you'll often see a prop completely lose its pitch, even going negative. Sometimes the prop is broken down to just 2 blades, but the quad can still slowly finish the race. So I started thinking, if one motor on a quad can't provide the lift anymore and only give you torque, can it still fly? The answer is no, because quad props can only generate thrust in one direction, unless you fly in 3D mode, which allows reverse thrust. But in racing, we basically never use that. And usually the quad's center of gravity is right in the middle of the frame, especially for racing drones. So if thrust on one side disappears, and the quad still needs roll and pitch control, you'll see that the 3 remaining motors form a triangle, but the center of gravity doesn't sit inside the triangle. What that means is, if one motor's thrust is gone, the quad's center of gravity may fall right on the line between 2 opposite motors. When the CG is there, it permanently loses the torque contribution of that motor. For example, it can rotate one way, but not the other. Or if you break down the torque vectors, you'll notice that when rolling in one direction, the quad still turns normally. If we treat this motor as gone, you can see its mark in a different color, than pitching in one direction also still works. But when we try the opposite pitch or opposite roll, even if 2 motors drop to 0 and only one gives thrust, you'll see the quad tilts diagonally instead of moving straight. That's because it lost the thrust from that motor. So why then can some special frames like Y3 or Y6, which only have 3 arms, still fly normally? It's because in tricopters or hexacopters, the 3 arms form a triangle, and the center of gravity sits right inside it. So each motor's torque vectors can be combined in pairs, or the torque from 2 angled arms can be decomposed, and those components still map to the roll and pitch axis, allowing free roll and pitch control. But for a Y3 frame, you need an extra motor or a tail servo to balance torque, so the flight controller can stay in control. A Y6 doesn't have this issue because each arm has coaxial counter-rotating props that cancel torque naturally. So in normal racing, if a prop loses its pitch or even goes negative, in theory the quad simply can't keep flying.